Hello, and welcome to another Chaoko Draws. This is the Chaoko Draws for Christmas. Sorry for being a little late on that. I always want to say sorry. It's getting really sad. But, yeah. I didn't get to post this on Christmas because I was going to record the audio the day before, but my computer shut off, and then, I was, in the middle of the recording, so I was like, screw it. And then, everyone in my house came home, so I couldn't record it anymore anyway. So, here's that, and, you're getting it now. This is when you're doing it. I also tried this a little earlier, too, and then my computer shut off again. So basically, I could only do this with all my tabs closed. So, I mean, if I was ever working on art or anything before this, I'd have closed it all out, and blah, 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 blah. First world problems and stuff. But, anyway, some things I want to talk about in this video. The fact that Wolfina is the only one wearing a Christmas costume. This is because I didn't really feel like giving everyone else their Christmas costume, because it was only really Cheetah Kid, Token, and Wolfina that got a Christmas costume. As you could see on the, the title card for the website, or the blog. But, I decided to make it different in the, drawing. So, I didn't see a point, if I changed this outfit, I would end up, changing everyone else's outfit. And there's no point in doing that, so, I mean, just draw normally. I mean, we have to have at least one person other than, Pal, that's, all festive and stuff. But, I mean, hey, what you gonna do about it? But another thing, addressing clothing in this picture, Kara's outfit you might not have noticed, or you might have noticed immediately and never said anything. But, I changed her outfit recently because I thought it was too simple, like her past outfit. And I'm sure most of you would agree with me. It's really simple. It's just like a turtleneck sweater, and then some white pants with pink thingies, pink little pocket thingy, the attachments on the pants, basically. I don't know why I do that. But yeah. So I thought that was too simple. So instead, I ended up redesigning it, and now she's got a little it's like a long skirt, but she wears a belt around it, and she wears what are those called, leggings, white leggings instead of white pants. Now it may seem a little bit out of character for her to get more stylish because she's the nerdy character, but I mean it's just clothing, so it's not too unbelievable. And I might even just keep her outfit normal for a little bit, the way it was before, and then change it later to make it seem more seem like it makes more sense. But I mean, time goes on and stuff. People come up with better ideas for clothing or character designs and such. And that will probably happen a lot more during the series. Even certain characters like Wolfina and Token and stuff, they have very simple outfits. So I like Wolfina's. Because her, short shorts and beanie make up for the fact that she doesn't really wear much. But in itself, that is pretty designer, I guess, if you could say that. That's just my opinion. I honestly don't think anything I do is good. Well, I have a little confidence in some things, but not a lot of things. But, yeah, so I don't think any other characters, other than, Polo might be getting an outfit change. Though, just the fact that his shirt, the pattern of his shirt is, its own thing, might not change for that reason, but, I mean, I always thought his outfit was a little too simple, too. Because, I mean, I'm just gonna say this right now, I don't think he ever gets a costume. Yeah, I don't think he ever gets a costume, nor do most characters, because they just wear their normal clothes, and that's just how they stick. That's just how they stick. I mean, even Cheetah Kid, he wears his costume as his normal clothes. That's not his normal clothes, it's just his costume. But he makes it his normal clothes. But, enough about clothes, and, back to the actual drawing. I've been considering making the comic, I've actually been saying this for a long time. I've talked to, a few people about it. And it's in the direction that the comic goes, as I mentioned before, the comic actually gets pretty dark later on, but not horribly blood everywhere kind of dark, but just it goes into dark topic stuff. So I've been considering making it a PG-13 comic instead of just a PG comic. However, this interferes with another thing that I wanted to do in the story to prove a point. it's not that, like, I don't want to, it's just to prove a point where, because obviously I can't keep everything that's going to happen in Cheetah Kid if I want to put on, like, Nickelodeon or something, which is where I want to do it. Like, especially now that I saw Korra and how that ended, that was actually pretty surprising. I'm glad that they were that progressive. But, I actually saw it coming. If you paid attention to the story, they actually did act like there were going to be a couple. Not to spoil, if I don't know why you haven't seen it if you haven't seen it, but if you're planning to watch it, I'm not going to say what happens, but, I mean, just go watch it. It's a great series. Well, first season's pretty good. Second season's kind of eh. Third season's really good. And fourth season was also good. Third season's the best one, in my opinion. Just saying. Anyways, enough about other stuff. Alright. That was my brother doing the exact opposite of what I told him to do. Like, if he came in, like, instead of, like, quietly opening the door and throwing the game in, he burst open the door, threw the game in, and quickly closed it again. If you didn't hear that. So, that was pretty funny. I actually just lost topic again. Oh yeah, I was gonna make a PG comic, but I want to make a point in my comic about something, because normally it shouldn't really be a problem, but later, as I get into the industry, it might become more of a problem to some viewers or something, or the audience. I mean, most people wouldn't mind, but I don't know if you probably guess. I hope you don't guess it, because it's actually I actually really like the surprise, and I hope none of you see it coming. But, yeah, for that reason, I wanted to keep it still PG, because I want to prove that this can happen in a PG environment. You probably already guessed it by now, like, well, I'm not saying who or what, but, yeah. So, I'm not sure, maybe the comic will become PG-13, maybe it'll stay PG, I don't know. But it all really depends, because, I mean, at some point, I might have to draw the line just to be like, alright, this is a little too much, it's gotta be PG-13. Or I might just change the story to where it's like, you know, it's a little more PG. Because it does get in a little PG-13. Because, of course, I can always avoid cursing and stuff, that's easy. It's its own world, it has its own, like, curse words and stuff. Or, like, substitutes for its own curse words. But, I mean, it's the English language. But, yeah, I can just always, that's the easiest thing to do with ratings. Just get rid of all the language. It's so easy. But, honestly, like, I've always had a problem with not making adult jokes, because if you pay attention enough, there are a lot of innuendos in Cheetah Kid, specifically when Rufina's around, because she likes to make everything awkward. But, yeah. I make a lot of adult jokes in the comic, but it's really hard to not have adult humor and it not be funny, in my opinion. Like, I always loved comics like House Pets and like Precocious and other comics in general that are just like, you know, Sunday strips, and they just got normal like little jokes, little clever jokes that you got to think about, or you have to have been around a certain generation. You gotta look it up. And I always found those funny, but my personal favorite thing is just like dry humor where it's just like, wait, what are you talking about, kind of thing, or like just like straight up adult jokes. Like, I have a series planned like later for like an adult like series or something that I may not like do, but that's usually where I throw all my adult jokes into. But it's a shame that I can't do it for Cheetah Kid. Because before Cheetah Kid was, like, during the second generation, Cheetah Kid was PG-13. But when it came with a webcomic, I decided to just make, you know, PG. And I like PG. I like the idea of it. I like having things for kids. Because, like, if you go up to Nickelodeon and you present them with, like, you know, what would you say, like a PG-13 comic would be like, let's make it for kids. They're going to be like, I don't know. It might be a little bit hard to translate. Are you sure? Or they might look at him and just be like, I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you have a PG, and you just show them, like, you know, not all the dark parts, like, obviously, like, some dark parts. I mean, you have to show them most everything, really. But, I mean, like, just show them specific parts, certain key points that are just, like, really lighthearted and stuff. They'll go with it. You got a, like, signature-looking character, signature acting character. They'll go with it. Maybe. Hopefully, if you're lucky. I mean, I make it sound really easy. It's not easy at all, guys. It's actually really hard, and I'm gonna have to really struggle to get my stuff into, you know, business. Some of you might already know this, but yeah, I might just stay with like comics and stuff, because I mean, hell, if I ever became an animator, I'll tell you this right now, I will not want to be the person physically animating it all the time. I will definitely hire other animators. I'll be the lead animator, where I'll you know, just have people, like, I'll animate the first few things and just be like, alright, this is how you animate it, it's kind of like this kind of style, and, you know, just show them the ropes, and then they start getting to it too, and I help out occasionally, and they look over things. That's usually what I want to do. Or maybe, you know, animate for something else. Because obviously I'm going to have to do a bunch of animation before just becoming a lead animator. You can't just do that. But, so, yeah, by animation and stuff. But, yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard, and hopefully I get into this. And I just hope to bring you guys a skunk. I really, like, on that note, want to let you guys hear the Cheetah Kid voice from Soul Calibur. Because, oh my god, like, I don't even know if that person could actually make the voice who did, like, that certain voice set. But if I could hire that person, I absolutely would. Because, I mean, honestly, James Earl Taylor is the one that I want to actually hire for Cheetah Kid's voice. But, I mean, who knows if he's even going to be able to or even wants to do it at that time. And, I mean, you know, yeah, there's probably going to be other actors, like other aspiring actors, or voice actors, sorry. But, and, you know, I've always been like, whenever someone hires, like, a new actor or a kid actor, I'm always just like, you know what, that's cool. I like that. You're giving new guys new jobs instead of all the famous people who get jobs all the time. Because, you know, it's hard in that business, and, like, once the series is over, they're gone. They have to move on and hope they get signed up for another thing, or someone signs them up for another thing. Rough business. Everything that involves really animation and art and stuff. But, yeah. It'd be cool. I can't actually imagine a voice for any other character. Like, I don't, like, there's one character, obviously, like, that's gonna come up that I know the voice for. But, I mean, it could be a lot of different voices. I'm not gonna say why. But, I mean, yeah, there's only, like, really one other character that I really know the voice for. Like, I can always imagine the character's voice in my head, but I've never imagined it as someone else's voice. Like, I've never heard someone be like, yeah, that's Token, or like, yeah, that's Wolfina. But, I'm not talking about the same person there, that'd be weird. But, yeah, I've never imagined anyone else's voice, so you never know. You never know. Those might just get, like, a whole set of, like, new actors saying, hello. I'm doing the recording. So, wait, hold on. Alright, I'm back. So, my brother came into the room before, so I'm not quite sure what I said before, so I'm just gonna go off into another topic, alright? So, about, the hair thing, the hair situation, as I'd like to say, it's so slimy. But, like, you know how there's, like, the characters have lines in their hairs in the comic, or their fur, too? I've been thinking of getting rid of that recently. Yeah, I've been thinking of getting rid of that recently. Because, as you might notice in this picture, there is no, like, lines in their hair or something like that, or hair in their fur. Lines in their fur. God, I'm so good at talking. There's no lines in their fur. But I honestly like that style a lot. In some cases, I like it more than the lined hair, the light hair thing. So, I'm thinking of just making it so that in the comic it's also like that, but like only in the comic cover art yeah, when it has the line art. Jesus, I'm good at talking. I'm telling him that. He didn't care. But yeah, I don't know though. You guys might like the line thing in the comic, or like might not like it when I don't do the line thing in these like pictures. But I like it, so I don't know. You guys tell me if you guys want me to keep it in, or just like not have it in at all, or have it certain here, in the comics there, or in the cover art there. But I mean, because I don't want to be really wishy-washy with my art style. Because as I've said before in the last video, I have been I've been evolving in my art style a lot more than I used to. Like, it's gotten, as I would like to say, better than it was before. I mean, art only improves, in my opinion. But, yeah. So I've been learning how to do forms better. I've gotten more detailed with clothes and muscles, which is really good because a lot of characters have muscles, and Wolfine's muscles are now defined, as you see in this picture, in the comic a little bit more. But yeah, I'm not sure because I like that in itself, but the hair thing in itself is also just like it's really time consuming. And it's just like I have to draw the line art, and then I have to color it, then I have to do the hairlines. But like if I do the hairlines while I'm doing the line art, it'll make the whole process of coloring more difficult because of the fuzzy tool select. If anyone uses like GIMP art, like Paint Tool Sci, or any art tool that isn't like Paint, you know like about the fuzzy tool thing. Or maybe Paint does have that. Maybe I'm just an asshole. But like in the layers thing. You know, blah blah blah. Layer thing, but it's a bunch of complicated mess. Or I could just, color it freehand, but I mean, I do that occasionally, and sometimes on this video. Actually, a lot of times in this video, I think I do that. Like, I don't use the fuzzy select like I normally would. But, on that note, I do normally color with another system, but I didn't want to switch to, like, another paint tool to start coloring, like, the thing, because I would have to pause the recording, switch to another, like, open the art in, like, Paint Tool Sci. Like, that's where I'd usually color it, because the coloring system is better than in Fire Alpaca, in my opinion. Because you can select multiple things at once, then color it. And I would actually have made this much faster of a process, but I wanted to be consistent. And I didn't want to have to switch around a bunch. So, yeah, it's actually, in the comic making itself, like, with normal pictures, it's, like, maybe two art tools I use, like just Fire Alpaca and then Sci. But like with the comic itself, I use like all of the things. Like I use Fire Alpaca, Sci, GIMP, and Photoshop for powerhouses, I guess. Like in my coloring style, I use Photoshop for the onomatopoeias that I love to do so much. And the onomatopoeias being like the pow and the wham kind of thing. Or in my case, really specific, like onomatopoeias that would normally not be onomatopoeias. But, and for like GIMP, I just like edit out the panel lines and put in like the Mason Hardison, cheatgoodcomic.com or whatever. And I put that in. I also use GIMP for text because they have a circle feature. I guess they have that in this paint, they have that in Photoshop too, but I don't know how to use that. Like if I could, I'd totally just do it there. And I don't know how to use different, like import layers from different pictures, or use different pictures as layers, other than like copy paste, which I probably could just do that. But I'm clearly not experienced with Photoshop. Like if I was, I'd be using it all the time, probably. I really like Sci and Fire Alpaca, mainly Sci though. Sci is my favorite. Sci is costly, people, unless you tore it. But I didn't do that, or did I? You never know. But yeah, it takes a lot of different things to color around and stuff and do effects, do different things. Whole things about different things, doing other things, essentially. Yeah, details. Not sure if I'm gonna do that whole thing. You guys tell me if you want me to. Other things. Not quite sure. Don't actually remember what else I was gonna talk about. Every time with this, I never know what to talk about, but I somehow always branch into it. Oh, here's the thing I was gonna talk about. If this is being posted in 2015, then yay! It's 2015. Or New Year's, I mean. Like, hopefully I post this on New Year's. But, yeah, it's New Year. And, you know what I'm really excited for in the New Year? Not like any, like, political thing or whatever. Even though I like to talk about politics. Don't talk to me about politics, but I like to talk about them. But, real excited for the Ratchet & Clank movie that's coming out. Because as you might have guessed with my whole talk about James Earl Taylor, I'm a fan of Ratchet & Clank. And, yeah. Keep talking, Chaoko. But, Yeah, that movie's coming out in 2015, and it's just like really cool because it's just like I've always loved that game. It's one of my favorite games, along with like the other PlayStation mascots like Ratchet and Clank, like of course Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot being my 100% most favorite. But yeah, and I'm really excited for that because I didn't ever in my mind imagine that there'd be a movie for that. Or any of those things. And in fact, Sly Cooper's also getting a movie in 2016, also hype. But yeah, really hope that people like watch it, like watch both of those. Like, I just wanted to say this because, like, you know, I really want that to do well. So it's just like I want more sequels, I want more things from it. But I mean, I can't force my opinion on you. You know, some of you probably don't even know what Ratchet and Clank is, or Sly Cooper. Well, even less you might know what Sly Cooper is. But yeah, I'm just really hyped for that. That's really the only thing I'm hyped for. And maybe, you know, more comics, more time, better at school, is not the greatest because I don't really care that much if it's not college, because I'm not in college, and I don't get to choose what I'm doing, and I don't have any art classes where I am. First world problems. Should probably just deal with it because some people don't have school. But I mean, hey, I like education. I really do. I just don't like when it takes up too much of my time. It's like I like incorporating intelligent things into my comics. I like when comics incorporate intelligent things to their comics, like Housebeds and again Precocious. They're really clever comics and stuff, like Gag Day or Seven and Freddy and stuff like that. Where it's just like, you know, yeah, it's really intelligent, like, or not really intelligent, like super genius. Sometimes they are. But, like, it's just intelligent things that you have to look up or you have to be around at a certain time to really niche things that you might not get. But when you get them, they're really funny. I always like doing them. And just, like, science jokes in general, or math jokes, or whatever. Relatable things that people might be doing. But, you know, I've just never, it just really depends on the teacher and stuff. And, you know, yeah. I always like, and I'm really, according to others, I'm really good at, like, incorporate, like, at school. Like every time I take a test thing, like in the end of the years or finals or whatever, or like those national testing thingies, I don't remember what they're called, I don't care. I always, like, grade super high, but I don't care. Like, honestly, I just want to know the things, and then do art, and then do the things in art. That's all I really care about. And I just want to know more in art, really. It's not really much of a motivation all the time, so, I mean... And sometimes, you know, don't really like the teachers, or teachers aren't the best. Not just calling any teachers out. I mean, yeah, it's just a thing. School things, you guys have probably dealt with. Most of you are probably older than me, in which you're saying for me to just shut up and deal with it. Which I can understand, because I can be whiny. Everyone can be whiny. But, I was in school. I think I want to acknowledge fan art, like, as you might know, like, I'm obviously fans of lots of things. And I often don't do fan art that much. Like, it's weird, because when I first joined, I did, like, maybe 2 things of fan art. Like, I've done a thing for Markiplier, PewDiePie. But, like, I haven't done much fan art for anything. Mainly just because I don't have time to. But I mean, honestly, I'd love to do fan art. And sometimes I draw things and it never gets released, or I never like feel like inking it or releasing a sketch because I never really liked releasing a sketch. But I like when other people do sketches; those are cool. But I never really. I always like dark lines or like things with color, especially. If you're wondering why, like most comics start out their series with just like black and white. Like I kind of was gonna do that when like the whole like Cheetah Kid comic news thing happened with my school newspaper, because that was obviously black and white. But I thought about it, but I was like, you know, like the whole color coded thing with the characters being, you know, orange, green, purple, blah blah blah. Every character having their own color scheme or their own color, main color. Like it kind of killed the point. And it's just like, I want you guys to know what they look like fully colored and stuff like that. Like, of course, it's great to use your imagination, but it's like I always wanted to just let people know. And it's like doing that a little late in the series makes it a little hard for people to draw the characters, I'd assume, if they wanted to. I don't know. A lot of people draw my stuff. But, like, honestly, I don't see it. I don't know. Self-conscious. But, yeah, maybe I'll get back to doing some fan art. You know, doing animation fan art, fan animations, stuff like that. I will be doing more fan animations, as mentioned before. And maybe some stuff for webcomics. And there will be some animated stuff for Threadbound too. Don't worry about that. Like, you thought I was just gonna learn this animation thing, and then I animate Threadbound? It's crazy. But obviously not like overly animated. Like, obviously you've seen the animation I made. If you didn't, it'll be in the description below. Probably not, because I never put anything in the description below when I say that. But yeah, I like the animation I did for that, because it was very simple, wasn't that complicated. Of course, I might do mouth dubbing, because in that one, it just wasn't necessary, because the only character that talked was one who had a mustache covering their mouth. So, I got around it there. But I mean, I'll do mouth dubbing and stuff. And obviously, the animation's not too complicated. Or maybe I won't do it like mouth dubbing, because that's not always necessary in animation. I mean, it's based, like, Threadbound's based on comics, right? So, of course I never really liked the storyboard kind of, like, animation thing. But, I mean, like, you know, moving stuff, like, slightly moving pictures and stuff, that makes a little more sense for a comic-based story. Just have a little, like, comic here, maybe include some, like, comic panel movement or something like that. Because obviously I'm not going to make a whole comic for Threadbound. That's you're a little asking for a little too much for to help me do that. Oh, other than Threadbound the Companion, which I might also not do, as you guys have probably noticed from my journal, where I said I might not be doing, I probably won't release Threadbound the Companions. But it's a lot, alright? I explained my reasoning why it's there. Once again, you can click the link in the description below, which doesn't exist, to see that. So, yeah. I can't really think of much. Again, can't really think of much else to talk about. My problems. Yeah. This is like stretching. At this point, I might as well just like let you guys watch this animation. What? Talking too much about animations now. Watch this drawing go by before your eyes. Once again, I had to point out that, because some people, again, getting confused, pointing to my friends, don't actually draw this fast. This is actually just a sped up version, that I probably said before in the video. But, yeah. Also, I just noticed something. If you guys are, like, confused as to what's going on in this picture, Wolfina's wearing clothes. I'm just gonna say that right now. She's wearing a skirt. Or not a skirt. She's wearing... Well, actually she is wearing a skirt. Now that I think about it, that's a part of the costume. So yeah, she's just making things awkward. And then, like, you know, Clips takes pictures of, like, people in their, like, or... He takes pictures of, like people. And... Not a creeper way, of course, just, like, for missions and stuff. So, like, as a joke, I had him take a picture of this, and he was just like, "This is gonna show it to Mayor Bobby." It probably, yeah, it did say, in fact, in the description of the picture on DeviantArt, because that's already out. Of course, again, not being posted on Christmas, because I screwed up. Or the computer screwed up. Bad computer. It was your fault. I'm not blaming just my computer. It was actually the computer's fault. It, like, shut down on itself. But yeah, that's the thing. And computer, really old. Yeah, it's also, that's another thing that makes it really hard to do these videos for you guys. Yeah, this computer, it just doesn't like it when I, like, try to record, like narrations of, like, things in general. Like, the Digging Husky thing, it's super freaked out there. And then with these things, it always, like, shuts down every, like, once or twice. So, a little hard to do this when your computer does not like you. It likes to hate me a lot. Probably because I filled it with too much data. Way too much data. It's like making a game data. And there's other game making programs, and there's this, like, game emulating programs and music. I have like 500 files. Or like I have a day's worth of music, apparently, according to Spotify, on my computer alone. Some of it's not even music, some of it's just like sounds from Threadbound or something like that, because it takes all the audio files on my computer ever. Like, yeah. Hopefully one day I get like just a normal computer to where it's like I can just record without a problem, without overheating. I think it's really just laptops that do that, and I don't think computers overheat unless you like super just like freak them out. You're just like, what? That's what I imagine when a computer overheats. It's just like, what? I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna shut down now. It's not gonna do it. It's gonna not do the thing they want me to do. So why would it do that? So how was your guys' day? I don't know, I can't even ask you guys. That don't even make sense. But, yes. This is the thing. I've literally run out of things to talk about. I don't think I have a single thing to talk about. Other than, like, birds? I don't know birds. Oh, the anniversary I didn't even think about, like, as I mentioned in the last video, is coming up soon. I'm gonna be doing a thing for that. Maybe some Chaoko Draws for it. It's guaranteed to be Chaoko Draws for it. So I'm gonna be drawing a bunch of stuff as examples, because obviously I like tried looking for the comics and I couldn't find anything from them. Or the old comics, you know what I mean, like the ones I mentioned when I was like 8 years old and like 12 years old, drawing Cheetah comics and such. Yeah, those will actually like maybe be redone one day after the series is over, because it's like, I want to keep the series alive. I mean, maybe the end of the comic won't even be the end of the comic. I might actually change the ending. Because, I mean, yeah, as I mentioned before, you know, the PG blah 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 thing. Don't want it to be the dark blah 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 thing. But, yeah. Might change the ending once, because I'm really feeling it. Like, real feeling changing that ending, because, of course, Cheetah Kid. Yeah, I just feel I'm not gonna say that, but like as I said before, it's dark. The story's dark, but yeah, I'm really feeling to change the ending because I listened to a song, apparently from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants movie or whatever. I just turned it on TV and I was like, what is this song? And I looked it up and I was just like, oh my god! And I got so many feels, and so I was like, I want to change the ending now. I want to change the ending. It has nothing to do with the ending, but I want to change the ending to make it seem like it has something to do with the song. Like, that's one of those songs that I'm pretty sure you guys have gotten that feeling too, where it's just like, I wish I could put this in the credits of something I did. It would just be so amazing. But I mean, there's always going to be new songs and new writers to write things for stuff I do or whatever, or anything you do. In general, really, just stuff in general. But, yeah. I was feeling to make some changes. Even the story. But, you know, it's kind of hard to do when you've already set up a world and how the world works, and it's like, what other direction could this possibly go in than the direction I set it up to go in? Because, yeah, I haven't been able to think of any other direction the story could possibly go in. You know, it's like, yeah. You've probably gotten that feeling before too, where it's just like, how could I possibly do anything different? How could I change this? Which, of course, you know, I've changed the ending for Cheetah a lot, but it usually goes in the same direction. Like, the story hasn't changed all too much. Like, of course, the whole main villain has changed quite a bit and stuff like that. But, yeah. Anyway, that should wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, prepare to see more, I guess, and bye. I don't know when this is gonna end, because I don't know. Bye-bye.